Have you ever wished you could go back in time and give your past self some advice based on what you now know? Yeah, I wish I could do that too, but I can't. So the best thing I can do is give you advice that I would give to my past self, all about starting an online business. So if you've been thinking about starting a blog, an affiliate site, a niche site, freelancing, whatever it is, then this video is for you. These are the 10 things I wish I knew back when I first started my first online business. So let's get into it. Okay, past Sean, or person watching this, first thing I wish I knew. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to doubt you. You may be like, sweet, I'm going to start an online business. This is going to be great. I'm going to make a bunch of money. I'm going to have a lot of freedom and flexibility in my lifestyle. You're going to tell your best friend, and they're going to be like, you're an idiot. You can never do that. And they'll be like, all right, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to tell my parents. They're going to get it, and they're going to be like, why would you quit your job? That is a horrible idea. All right, they don't know what they're talking about either. They're old. So then I'm going to tell my significant other, and they're going to be like, no, how are you going to support me? Or yourself, for that matter. So you can see where I'm going with this. Even though you might think people are going to be supportive, the chances are if you tell someone that you want to do something a little against the grain, you want to start an online business, you want to make money on the internet, they're going to think you're crazy. But, and this is a big but, there's a lot of people out there that will believe in you, and they will get it, and they will understand. Find those people. Even if you only find one person in your life that wants to do the same thing or understands it or can help with accountability, go find that person or find that community, because that's going to be what keeps you going. Super important. I've talked about my friend Ryan in the past, where he quit his job, moved to Hawaii, and then started his world trip. It was talking to him every week that basically said, okay, Sean, yeah, you can do this. This can happen, when a lot of the other people in my life were like, you're an idiot. Go back to your day job. Okay, number two, second thing, the grass isn't always greener, but sometimes it is. It's probably a joke to be made with the grass going on here. But here's the thing. If you've got issues, if you've got problems, if you're unhappy, if you're miserable, starting a business isn't necessarily going to fix all of that. All your drama and all your BS, all your stuff, that comes with you. That's what therapy's for. Starting a business isn't going to fix that. And in some ways, starting a business will bring on a whole slew of new other issues and stressors and things that you wouldn't even think about. But starting an online business, the freedom, the flexibility, the stuff it gives you, I mean, the opportunities it can present, it's amazing. But if you know how to handle your own stuff and you're not expecting a magic bullet, then the grass is greener. Life's pretty great. That grass over there, that's greener grass. That's better grass. It's golf grass. We like golf grass. Hey, someone just joined Location Rebel. Welcome. Okay, to piggyback off that last point, number 3 is the freedom and the flexibility that having an online business and a lifestyle business gives you. Well, that's pretty great. Be able to do things like grocery shop when the stores are less crowded. Come out here, it's a Tuesday. I'm working. It's a Tuesday, and I decided I was going to come out here just like a few days ago because I have that freedom and that flexibility. Being able to, golf or go to the movies or take trips and travel or stay in hotels or do all the things that are difficult to do for most people during the week. So they're less crowded, they're less expensive. It's easier to schedule things because you have more flexibility and free time. That part of the lifestyle, even if you got your own issues, that part's great. Number 4, I got a question for you. How do you feel about vacations? How do you feel about, weekends? Because when you start an online business and you can truly work from anywhere whenever you want, you don't ever really have real vacations. Like I said, it's a Tuesday. I'm, for all intents and purposes, on vacation, and here I am working. Weekends, same deal. There is always something you could or should be doing. So it's not like you close your laptop at 5 o'clock, you go home, and everything shuts off. Even when you shut things off, you can't shut off your mind. And that it's good and bad. Like, I can come out here and I can travel all over the world and I can do all of this stuff, but I'm always thinking about work, or at least I'm usually thinking about work. And not being able to turn that off, I've been doing that for 10 years, and there's times where I'm just like, man, I could really go for a vacation. And you might look at the videos I've made from the last year and be like, man, that guy takes a lot of vacations. But the reality is, You're always working, you're always doing stuff. And granted, this is me. This is how I've set up my business. You might be able to do a better job at setting boundaries, but depending on the type of business you create and whatnot, chances are you're going to be thinking about it a lot more than whatever your day job is. And no matter where you go, no matter what traveling you do, no matter what time you take off, you're still going to be kind of thinking about it. So pros and cons, good news, bad news, but that's something I was not prepared for when I left my job. So I went for a run this morning. Like, take a nice little jaunt through the meadow here. Went 3 miles. I am so much more out of shape than I thought I was. Either that or the elevation here is actually kind of a thing. I think we're at like, I don't know, 4,000 feet, something like that. So a little bit higher than I'm used to, but man, it was kind of embarrassing. All right, number 5, and this is one that you might not normally think about, but is definitely true, is that finances, when you're a lifestyle entrepreneur, online entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever you want to call it, well, they're kind of weird. Here's what I mean by that. So for me, my business expenses and my personal expenses, they're all just kind of commingled. For instance, I'm here in Sun River. We're staying at a resort. I'm here to cover the golf course and write about the golf course. So that's all a business expense, but I'm kind of on vacation, so it feels like it's personal stuff. Making decisions like, should I buy this camera or not? That's, it's like, oh, that seems extravagant, but you're like, oh, wait, that's a business expense, so that's a write-off. And trying to balance how all of that works is just kind of a difficult thing. And one of the hard parts about that is when you're trying to rationalize what do you spend money on. For me, spending money on the business is like, say I want to hire someone and they cost $40,000 a year. Well, that $40,000, even though it's part of the business, it feels like it's coming directly out of my pocket. That $40,000 is $40,000 less than I will personally make next year or this year. So getting used to that is difficult, and that's caused me some issues where I probably haven't invested in my business as much or as well as I should have because the business and the personal stuff is so intertwined. So just be aware of that if you are going to start this, then there's going to be more crossover than you expect there to be, unless you're better about it than I am and you truly segment your business and your personal life, but it's harder than you think with an online business. We should also just kind of piggyback off that and talk about how starting an online business can be a great way to turn the things you like to do into write-offs. My travel and my camera gear and all the gadgets I like, write-off. Golf clubs, golf balls, golf greens fees, write-off. Liquor, cocktail glasses, bars, now write-off. When you look at Breaking 80, Slightly Pretentious, Location Rebel at all, I start things around things I like to do that are going to enhance my enjoyment of my hobbies and, frankly, make it less expensive to enjoy said bougie hobbies. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, this is a weird one that I kind of did by mistake, but it's an important one to mention. Start 2 businesses. Don't start 3. So why, I'm constantly giving the advice. Focus on one thing rather than, it's better to make 100% progress on one thing than 10% progress on 10 things. So why would I say that you should start 2 different businesses? Well, I think you need your passion business, the thing that you want to do forever, and you need the bridge business. You need the thing that's going to get you from point A to point B. So this is why I'm such a big fan of freelance writing, because generally speaking, freelance writing is the easiest way to make money online. It's a skill you've already got. There's a huge demand for it. So if you're looking for some security, if you're looking for some income quickly, if you're looking to build some skills, freelancing is the best way to do that. You'll set up a freelance services website. That'll serve as your training ground. That's going to help you learn copywriting, design, SEO, how to be persuasive, how to get clients, all of that stuff. But then while you're doing that and while you're learning all of that, there's probably something you're like, man, I would love to start a site around cocktails or golf or gardening or basketball or video games or whatever it is. And you should start that on the side. Think of that as like free time. It's like, I'm just going to do this whenever I feel like it. I'm not going to worry about money. That's what's happened with all my businesses. With Breaking 80, said, you know what? I'm just going to, write about this once a month, once every other month, whenever I feel like it. A few years down the line, all of a sudden it's like, oh, good thing things got some traffic. Same with cocktails. I'm just writing about it whenever I feel like it. Turned around last month and was like, oh, this has got some traffic. We're doing okay here. So start the freelancing stuff. help that get you to the point where you leave your job, you can pay your bills, you've got some income, and then you can start transitioning into the lifestyle, the passion business, whether it's e-commerce or a membership site or a blog or whatever it is. So start 2, but don't start 3. Three's too many. And the goal is to wean yourself off the bridge business once you start getting traction with the other one. So keep that in mind. This might blow your mind. This might be kind of a surprise to you because every time I mention it to people, they seem to be like, oh my gosh, I can't, yeah, that makes sense. And that thing is that there is no one way to build a business. The way I teach is going to be different than the way the next person teaches. It's going to be different than the way the next person teaches. So don't worry about finding the one right way, because even if you follow everything that I say to the T, it's still going to be different than the way another person follows my stuff to a T. Everybody's got their own way. But I will recommend, rather than bouncing around from YouTube video to blog post and trying to figure it all out on yourself, I recommend find one person you trust, whether that's someone in your personal life, whether that's a mentor, whether it's someone online, whether it's a course like Location Rebel Academy like I've got. Find that one person you trust and follow their plan from the beginning to the end, because that's going to be much more effective than trying to piecemeal it all together. People often ask me, they say, well, with Location Rebel Academy, can I get all this information online for free? And I was like, yeah, probably 80% of it you can find online for free. But the benefit and the reason that it's worth spending the money on, aside from access to me and the community and all that stuff, is it's step by step. We walk you through everything. So all that to say, there is no one right way. There are an infinite number of ways you can build a successful online business. And so just be aware of that and stop trying to look for the one correct way, because your implementation of my correct way is going to be different than my implementation of it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, in the early days, I spent a lot of time questioning like freelance writing, freelance SEO. Like, I don't love this stuff. Is this really worth my time? And here's my response. Here's what I would tell my past self is, you don't have to be passionate about your bridge business. You just have to be passionate about the opportunities that it gives you. So no, I wasn't passionate about freelancing, but the opportunities that it gave me to work through that thing that, I wasn't passionate about it, but I didn't hate it. It was well worth it. So if you're like, but I don't want to be a freelance writer. That sounds boring. Yeah. Your current day job, doing that for the next 20 years, maybe I'm wrong, but that may be more boring than having the freedom that the freelance writing stuff would give you. So this is an important one. The work, it's not hard. I spent months putting off actually building a business and starting something online because I thought it was going to be too hard. And I didn't know what I was doing. Work itself, it's not hard. Blogging, not hard. Freelance writing, not hard. What is hard is consistency. Being consistent and putting in a little bit of effort every single day for days, weeks, months, years. That is the hard part. And if you can do that, if you can be consistent and put in the work every day for a year, 2 years, you will have a certain level of success. Like, that's a numbers game. So be consistent, because that is the single most important thing. That's the single biggest thing that separates people that are successful versus people that aren't successful. Again, going back to advice that I wish I could give myself, starting a blog is the single best thing you'll ever do for your business, your personal development, your happiness, your life. I mean, sure, like getting married, all that stuff, that's great. But starting a blog, man, if it weren't for doing that, I don't know where I'd be. And it doesn't have to be a blog these days. If you don't like writing, YouTube channel. Starting this YouTube channel's been, in some ways, just as influential as starting the blog has been. Not like video? Podcast. Don't like any of those things? Instagram. Share your photos. Doing that, giving yourself a platform, giving yourself a vehicle with which to be creative, giving yourself a way for people to connect with you that have similar interests is so hugely valuable. And the benefits that I've gotten from starting Location Rebel in 2009, or starting Breaking 80 in 2012, or even starting Slightly Pretentious at the beginning of this year, absolutely mind-blowing to me. And so regardless of what you do, freelancing, niche sites, e-commerce, membership sites, even if you have a day job, even if you just want to stay in that day job, start a blog or a YouTube channel or a podcast or an Instagram account that you take like a little more seriously than just your personal account. Honestly, life-changing, game-changing. The places it will take you and the people it will introduce you to, nothing short of remarkable. So there you go. Those are 10 things I wish I personally knew before starting an online business. If you don't listen to any of that, if you don't remember anything else, then remember this. Celebrate the small wins, learn from your mistakes, and remember the juice is worth the squeeze. Remember that movie? It was a movie from like the 90s, The Girl Next Door. They kept saying
that the juice is worth the squeeze.
It's true. For me, with all the ups and the downs, with all the good and the bad, it has absolutely been worth putting in the time, putting in the effort, going through the stress to start an online business. I'm Sean Ogle. We got new videos every Monday and Thursday where we help you build a small business that lets you work from anywhere and spend more time doing the stuff you love, because that's what life's all about. Who wants to do stuff that doesn't excite them and that they don't enjoy? I don't want to do those things. You don't want to do those things, so let's all grow together. Sean@locationrebel.com. Shoot me an email. As always, I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, go do that right now. Maybe hit subscribe. Every new subscription helps me know that you are watching and you do care. And I should keep doing videos like this. With that, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my vacation, and we'll see you soon. Peace.